Hey guys, it's your boy, Ballface8020, back again with another great commentary. So, aftermath of the debate, we've had some time to digest. So many thoughts, but not a lot of specific ones. So, just on like some people, I know that there are a lot of people, including one person in my comment section who are saying that Biden won the debate on the merits. It's like, dude, who fucking cares? Like, maybe he did, maybe he didn't. I don't know. It doesn't matter. That's why I don't watch the debates. You know, because first of all, I don't fucking care who wins, and you know, I read about the debates and I watch clips, but that's it. I don't care who wins because I'm going to vote for who I vote for. You know, anyway, and sorry, but let's I mean, you know, it's not like, it doesn't matter who wins the debates, or it doesn't even matter it doesn't matter who wins the debate on the merits, and it doesn't matter who wins the debates, period. What matters is who wins the narrative of the debate. And the narrative of last night's debate is one thing, and that's that Biden is senile. Now look, we already knew Biden had dementia. So, I mean, he had dementia 4 years ago. So it wasn't like, or 5 years ago. So it's not a revelation. I don't expect it to affect anything. But, well, it may. I don't expect it to affect anybody's vote. But, may affect, you know, if Biden is the nominee even. But, that's, I mean, as far as it goes. You know, it's like, I mean, like, so that's like the narrative is going to be that is not any lies, quote unquote, that Trump told, or how Trump doesn't answer questions, or all that shit. Look, we all know Trump's an idiot. He's a liar. He's a blowhard. He's a bullshitter. We know who Trump is. Okay. At this stage, we know who Biden is too. He's a bad guy. He's a liar. He's the most corrupt president we've had in, you know, in the last 100 years, but I mean, in a long time, that he is a pedophile. He's, you know, did I already say that he's senile? Because yeah, he's got dementia, pedophile, just terrible guy, just terrible human being, liar, all that stuff. But we already knew all that. We already knew all those things. So it's not like, so the thing is like, oh, the only thing that it comes down to, the only importance these debates have at all is, you know, vibe and narrative. And so, like, if anybody who wants to, like, defend Biden's performance by saying that Trump lied, or Trump didn't answer questions, or Biden actually gave some good answers, or something like that, it's like, dude, none of that shit fucking matters. This isn't high school debate club, okay? That's not how we are judging the debates. The only thing is that, you know, the narrative after this is that Biden is senile, which, I mean, again, is old news. We already knew that. But now it's more on the screen. So Trump's winning the narrative war on that front. Now, I don't think it's going to change anybody's vote, because the American public are stupid, but they're not that stupid. I mean, again, everybody knows that Biden has dementia. Everybody knew it 5 years ago and 4 years ago. Okay, it doesn't make a difference. Okay. You know, he's like, obviously Biden can have dementia and run the country, because he's not really running the country in the first place. So there's no need to, I mean, like, it's embarrassing for Biden. It helps the morale of the Trump side. It hurts the morale of the pro-Biden side. But it doesn't actually change anybody's votes or how they think about things. I know they're gonna have some things with like focus groups saying, well, these say that these undecided voters are now leaning towards Biden. I think they had results like that. I'm not sure. Like, look. If you are such a fucking retard that you are still undecided between Trump and Biden, like at this stage, like, I mean, we're not talking like two unknowns here, okay? Like, Trump and Biden have a pretty big track record. You know what they stand for. If you're like, you know, I'm just can't make up my mind between the two, I need to see the big. If you are that fucking stupid, I'm not worried about getting those people's votes anyway. You know, if we lose because we don't get their votes, okay, so be it. I mean, it's not something, if liberals want to cope over winning some focus groups, okay. The thing is, me personally, I don't buy it. I'm not somebody who says that I don't believe polls. I do believe polls. I believe polls and voting results. What I don't believe is issue polls or specific polls, like, or when you start like, or focus test type polls. Like if you just say like, you know, you get 20 people in a room and ask these retards what they think about the debate or what I mean, I don't give a shit. I don't give a fuck what they think. I give a fuck what they do. And by looking at the polls, which I do believe, the national polls, what it looks like they're going to do is vote for Trump. Because that's what people break for the winner. Like, could there be a late break for Biden with the undecided? I mean, yeah, I don't see any reason to anticipate it. It could happen. I don't know. I'm not saying it's for certain. So, I mean, again, if the lib shits want to cope and say that that's going to happen, then, I mean, I guess there are more annoying copes of theirs that we're going to have to put up with. So that's just, at least for a few more months, then it's payback time. But so yeah, I don't think about that shit. I just think about the polling, which I don't really expect to meaningfully change. I mean, Trump might get a tiny bump, but I don't think it's going to be a big deal. Like the thing is, we all knew Biden was a senile pedophile. It's nothing new. And Trump, we knew he's a liar, a bullshitter, but like I said last night, he's a leader. He's a leader, and that counts for a lot. So anyway, I think the big discussion today is Biden getting subbed out. Is Biden going to be replaced? Last night and most of today, I was thinking yes. Now I'm not certain. I don't know if you guys follow Rich Barris on Twitter, the People's Pundit, but there's a lot of people on our side saying it's too late. Biden can't be replaced. But then when you actually read the reasons, they say why you can't replace Biden because of rules. You can't skip over Kamala Harris and legal issues in some case. Come on, do you really doubt that the Democrats can't get past those things? It doesn't mean like, no, come on now. So like, and as for the whole Kamala Harris thing, Kamala Harris has no power base. So this idea that it would be divisive to the black community is bullshit. First of all, blacks don't even really consider Kamala one of them. Secondly, Kamala, there won't be a fight because Kamala would just stand down. She would be like threatened and stand down. Thirdly, the entire black leadership would line up behind whatever white guy they needed to get it, to get its win. They just want the Democrats to win. They don't care if the person in the White House is black or not. In fact, they might even prefer that they're not black. So stop it. It's ridiculous. Kamala is a non-issue. They'll get rid of her easily if they have to. No, so what are they going to replace Biden? Well, let's say this: if they want to, if they decide that's something they want to do, they can. It would have to be led by Obama, though. And Obama's released a tweet today that was very supportive of Joe, so that could be one indication that they're not gonna jump ship on him, or they're not gonna throw him overboard. But you never know with these guys. They could be like creating that. They could be like doing that in public, but then behind the scenes, they're planning to stick a knife in Joe's back. I don't know. I mean, if it's something they want to do, they will. Like if they can actually like get consensus behind it, they will do it. As for who they would replace him with, I really don't think it would be Newsom. Because he's just too unlikable, and he's a great fit for California, but he's not a great fit nationally. I don't think they would do that. If you're asking who I would want Trump to run against most, it would be Newsom, because I want whatever is going to be the most divisive in the country. And Newsom is very divisive in a way that Biden isn't. Now, like between the two of them, I like Newsom way better than Biden, but I've hated Biden for decades. Partially because Biden is able to have this sort of appeal to not even people in the center, people on the right. There are so many people on the right who are like, yeah, I can't stand Biden, but oh man, I hope nothing happens to him because I don't want Kamala to be president. It's like, no, you are a fucking retard. I would rather have Kamala like 1,000,000 times than fucking Biden. Because of that thought process that like Biden is somehow not quite as bad as the other Democrats. Even people on our side think that. They hate Biden so much, but then they're like, oh yeah, but these other Democrats are even worse. No, they're not. They're all the same. They're all the fucking same. it's not like the Republican Party where there's actually differences between the candidates. All Democrats are the same, okay? And they, at least the ones who have any chance of, taking power or something. One interesting thing about the debate was Trump used Palestinian as a slur, which was really funny. And, but one thing I've always said, and I talked about this in my previous, like the Gaza protest thing, and I've had people challenge me on this. Say, like, the people who you see protesting Genocide Joe, I said, like, they're all going to come home and vote for Biden to stop Trump. And I had a lot of people say, no, they won't. They're like, like my brother, for instance, is a diehard Palestinian shill. And he was totally like that. And last night he completely changed his mind. Like now he's back to backing Biden. And I knew that was going to happen because once the threat of Trump coming back is real, then, no pun intended, their mindset shifts. All of a sudden, genocide isn't as important. They'll still talk about it, but they'll be. And by the way, I'm not saying there is a genocide. There will be, but there isn't now. But I'm just saying that that's what I'm just using their words. But no, once the left is their tribal nature will always take over. And you really saw that during COVID. Like whereas COVID was totally a thing for big business and, the deep state and stuff, because the left the far left genuinely doesn't like big business. They're not joking about that. They really do hate big business. They really do hate the military industrial complex. They really do hate portions of the deep state. Like they're very against what happened to Assange and Snowden. However, their tribal left-wing identity always comes first. Okay, that's the one thing you have to understand about the far left. So that's why, like with COVID, even though the whole COVID thing was bullshit and it was a huge advantage to big business at the expense of small businesses, they were like the far left was all diehard into those restrictions. In fact, they were the most militant about it. So you'll see the same. Like even though they hate what Joe Biden is doing with Israel and the Palestinians because they're too fucking stupid to realize that if Biden did anything else, it would actually lead to more Palestinian deaths. And they genuinely don't get that because they're just so retarded. Which like I've said, I'm sorry, I don't mean to derail myself here, but the thing is that's why I want U.S. aid to Israel to stop because I know that it'll lead to a larger war, which is what I want. And, whereas the idiot pro-Palestinian protesters really think that if you stop aid to Israel, it's going to save the Palestinians. No, you guys, no, it's not. It's really not. That you're doing it wrong. But anyway, so. Yeah, and I'm sorry, I know the whole thing has been a ramble. But anyway, so I do think, now that I'm thinking about it, I could see Biden even getting a bump from the debate because it's going to rally a lot of people to him because a lot of people just honestly, my whole family are lib shits. And I only saw tiny bits of worry from them so far until last night because even though they had all kind of knew that Trump was going to come back, that Trump was going to be back, there's a difference between knowing it in the abstract and actually seeing Trump on stage and all the trauma coming back to them. And they're not doing well. They are really scared. And they should be. So yeah, but anyway, right now though, I would have to say that I still think Biden probably gets subbed out. I don't think it'll be for Newsom. I think it'll be for Pritzker. Again, going back to the astrology readings, it says that this is a year where Biden either becomes, by November 20th of this year, if we're going to take his chart at face value, Biden should either be incapacitated or dead. That would be the most straightforward reading of the chart. Doesn't necessarily mean that, but that would be the most straightforward reading. Or at the very least have lost the presidency. Trump's chart is the other way around. Trump's solar return chart is unquestionable. The chart says he wins the presidency. If Trump does not win the presidency, there's no way to reconcile that with his solar return chart. The only way you could interpret Trump's solar return chart is he wins the presidency. So, you know, and that's not just me. So, like, if that's wrong, it's not me who's wrong. It's the chart who's wrong. But that doesn't mean that I'm, like, certain that Trump's going to win. I mean, I'm certain that's what the chart says. It doesn't mean that's what's going to happen. And honestly, the whole astrology thing didn't really affect astrology did change my judgment of the war in Ukraine. But in terms of the race, like, astrology, no astrology, I think Trump's going to win just because of fundamentals. The economy sucks and it's getting worse. There's the immigration stuff is taking a toll, really starting to hurt the Democrats. I feel like this is the first time that immigration is a liability with the Democrats amongst the general electorate. Like, you've always had anti-immigration, like, motivating our side. But now I feel like immigration is demotivating the Dems and turning independents away from them. So, yeah, I would say immigration, the economy, the war. I really don't think that the war in Gaza is going to have an impact. So what's more interesting is the war in Ukraine. I think people, like I said, I think people are tired of it. I really just don't think it's going to affect anybody's vote. Like the people who are against it, like, you know, who don't want to continue to help Ukraine, it's like, yeah, they're against it, but they don't really care. You know, it's not something that's going to change anybody's vote. So I really don't see that one having an impact, having an impact. So yeah, what else? Right. So anyway, I think, like, you know, when you take, but the main thing is the economy. The main thing is the economy. It's the economy's stupid, and it starts with the economy, and the economy is bad. It's getting worse. There's a good chance we're already in recession now. There's a slight chance we've been in recession since as early as October of last year. Are we in recession now? I don't know. The problem is, even if we are in a recession, it doesn't fucking matter until the job losses start. You know, so, like, I mean, like, whether we're technically in a recession or not doesn't matter. It's like, you know, like, people are hurting, and politically that's good for us, but there's still jobs, you know, so you would want to see some more job losses before election day, and not in fucking October either, like, soon. So it gets, like, built in, like, that, you know, the economy is bad. But yeah, no, right now, absolutely, Trump should be in good shape against Biden. Against Pritzker, would we expect things to be any different? That's a good question. Probably not. Probably not. I don't know because Joe Biden is the only, like, he's got the name recognition and he's got a little bit of legacy cred. And also being the fact that he's, you know, got dementia might make him seem more harmless to some people. Whereas Pritzker is easier to just kind of otherize as, you know, the liberal who everybody hates. You know, Biden's every bit as liberal as all of them. But Biden still has that, because Biden is such a, like, a working class white guy with that, and he's a, what I call a legacy Democrat. Like, Joe Biden growing up today would not have been a Democrat. He would have ended up being a Republican. I mean, Joe Biden's views when he came into Congress were far to the right of where Trump's are now. The difference is that Trump's views stayed the same. Biden's changed, you know, because again, left tribal, they always go with, you know, whatever. But so Biden's got some credit there. Would Pritzker do any better than Biden? I really don't think so. I think that they're both going to lose. I really don't think it matters who the Democrats nominate. Like, maybe if they I don't know if it's possible. Could they nominate, like, Taylor Swift or something? Then, like, that would be the only way I could see it. But it's like any, like, reasonable chance candidate, anybody like, you know, like Pritzker, who I would see to be their best bet. I don't know if I don't think he would do any better than Biden. I think Kamala would actually do worse. Maybe not as much worse as people think, but would worse because she's that bad a candidate. But yeah, so, like, are they going to sub out Biden? Right now, I'm going to say no. Okay, I'm saying that with no confidence whatsoever. I think they could, if they sub Biden out. I think it'll be for Pritzker. It could be for somebody else, but if they sub him out, it'll be for Pritzker. If Biden gets subbed out, I don't think it'll make a difference one way or the other. So, you know, like I said, unfortunately, right now we're in kind of a limbo thing, and yeah, I mean, we know, like I said, we know from astrology that some big surprise is going to happen in October with Russia, but I don't think that would impact the race because I don't think anybody really cares about it. Plus, who even know? I mean, we don't even know what the surprise is. So unfortunately, we're still in wait and see mode. We really don't know. We really don't know any more than we did yesterday, despite all this hype and all this drama. I mean, it's fun to see the lib shits freak out, but in terms of like, we didn't learn anything. You know, there's nothing's changed since yesterday. So it's the same world. You know, it's the same world that we were in yesterday. That's all for now. See you in the next.